Now.
Welcome back to KickStartTV. You should check out thebestwebvideos.com to see more of me.
All right, she's plugging her own show on KickStartTV.com.
Absolutely.
Everybody gets a plug here. And speaking of plugs, man, do we have a fun rig coming up for you right now, man. We got this trash here is going to show. Do you need help with that?
No, I got it under control here.
Okay, what we're going to show you how to do is the final assembly on this fabulous chrome rear wheel that he's doing on his Softail project. So, Trash, let them know what they're looking at here.
Well, last week I did allude to the beauty of the rear wheel that I had recently gotten back from the chrome shop, and I said I'd bring it in here. And I told somebody, I don't remember who, that the center of this wheel, which was actually sand cast from the factory,
yes,
you'll recall,
you told me about it. That's right. That's right.
If you'll look at it, if you can come in tight a little bit on the center of this wheel, you'll see that I wasn't lying. This wheel is a mirror finish. It's just a mirror finish.
Unbelievable.
And it is really a thing of beauty.
It really is a nice piece.
This is polished highly and three-step plated to its final luster.
The thing I think that people need to understand is when you see this wheel, and it being as it is a sand cast piece, it normally is extremely rough. And if you were to look at that as being something that would be chromed, it just wouldn't look very shiny. And these guys really did a number on this thing, man.
Right. What they do is they chuck them up in a lathe, and they turn the rough casting off of the center.
Beautiful.
And
Beautiful.
then they run, they're polishing compounds and materials over it and smooth it out and get it ready to be dipped for chrome.
Now, I think it's important that you also tell people that, the place that did this, who were the guys?
Oh, we'll get to that.
Okay, we'll get to that.
We will
right.
get to
I
that.
won't jump
Believe
ahead.
me, I'm not going to forget those folks.
Because I tell you what, he told me the price that he paid for this chrome work on this, and it is unbelievable.
Absolutely.
The great deal they cut him on this. I mean, I got to bring everything down there to be chromed at these rates, man. It's unbelievable.
Okay. What I want to do is just briefly run you through how these wheels are put together. It's not just a wheel with a hole in the middle. There's spacers inside. There's things that have to be done properly in order for the wheel to roll safe, be safe, and operate properly. Obviously, you don't want this wheel to freeze up.
No, bad.
You don't want it to wobble. You don't want any of that. And that's what all of this is geared toward. There is a spacer, a long spacer, that slides into the inside of this wheel, right in the middle of the hub. All right. Now, if you'll notice, I did something that people sometimes think is a little bit sophomoric or campy, whatever.
No, what?
Draw a picture.
Yeah.
When you take something apart, draw a picture. Could you come in tight on this for me, Todd? Get a picture of this. This is pretty simple. What it is a cross-section of the wheel as if you were looking at it on the edge. Mm-hmm. All right? And I made it very, very understandable. Stem side,
right.
Okay, which is the side that's facing toward me right now.
Right.
Okay? And here you've got long spacer.
Right.
Okay? Shims right here.
Right.
Bearings.
Yep.
Seal.
Yep.
Okay? And bearing and seal on the other side.
Okay.
All right? Now, I have to tell you that I ran into something today that I didn't expect.
Yeah.
All right? I was on my way down to pick up a couple of parts that I needed. I was trying to get some extra bolts and stuff. Anyway, I got a call from Lil John.
Yeah.
Lil John was cleaning up the center part of the wheel. Todd, if you come in tight right here, where my hand is.
Go ahead and tight in on them. Let's take a look at that.
Thank you. Right in here, the chrome plating made this a little bit larger, okay, so that the brake rotor nor the drive sprocket on the other side, or the drive sprocket on this side here, would fit over the hub, and it has to slide over that. So he had it chucked up in a lathe and was cleaning it. And he thought at the same time, well, I'll just clean up the inside of the hub as well and get that ready for bearings.
Right.
Well, he called me and he told me that in my infinite stupidity, that I, in an effort to clean these up the other day, I ran some emery around inside there and I boogered up the outer race.
Just with the emery book?
The outer bearing race, right. So he said, this isn't going to work, Dave. He said, if you try to run this, you're going to eat those bearings up.
No shit. Just from emery?
Exactly. So I picked up a couple of new outer bearing races from the nice folks down at Two Wheelers in Denver. Here's the local shop, folks. And and a bearing race puller, which Warren, you are acquainted with from the work.
Yeah, man. Oh yeah, I know those.
To remove the old bearing races, so we did that,
and
with his expertise, Little John, thank you so much. Pressed the new bearing races in, so I now have brand new outer bearing races in here ready to roll.
For those of you who don't know, a bearing race is something that sits in between the sort of hard cast metal and the bearing itself.
Right.
It acts as a protective layer. It's a smooth metal that fits in there, so it's not the actual
very
wall of anything in there.
Ooh, very
You know,
smooth. Feel
so
that,
it's
Chelsea.
got to be smooth in there. You know,
Ooh, smooth.
and you have to have something that you can replace, so that if it gets boogered up like this, you're replacing a metal sleeve, not trying to hone out the actual metal of the item.
That's exactly right, because you will chew up the outer edge of the new bearing or the bearing itself in its cage. And these wheels, ladies and gentlemen, use Timken bearings.
Yep.
And there's something else I learned today. A Timken is a design. It's a bearing design.
Yeah.
And it was designed by the Timken company.
Yep.
However, that's where it got its name. But you can get Timken bearings that are not made by the Timken company.
Really, I didn't know
You
that.
say, oh, yeah, it's a Timken bearing, like I did today. I thought I was smart.
Get it
John
a
said,
Timken.
So?
Oh.
You can get Timken bearings made in China, you know. So anyway,
You know, I got some Chinese stuff sitting around with some bearings on it. I'll take a look at it.
Take a
See
look
if it
at
says Timken on them. That'd be
If
interesting.
they say Timken, what you also want to look for on the outer edge is for it to say USA.
Alrighty, that's
Then
a
you
great.
can pretty well bet that they were made by the Timken company.
That's a great hint, man. Because if I get Timken stuff and then it says, Taiwan, it's going to
That's
be
right.
like
It's
the
junk.
bad
Throw it
junk.
up. I'll get back to you on some more information on it. There
Okay,
are
cool.
some that are great. The Japanese Timken bearings, best you can buy.
Really?
Absolutely.
Wow.
And I learned that today too, to put credit where it's due.
I mean, I would think that would be, up with some of that other stuff we've seen from there, which is like worthless. But whoa,
Yeah.
that's a greasy thing.
All right. This, ladies and gentlemen, is an inner spacer. This goes in the hub of the wheel. Comme ça. Just slips right through the center of the wheel, just like that. It's greasy, it's nasty. You want to put a little grease on it, in case, in the words of Little John once again, in case you seize up a bearing and you're rolling on that spacer for a little while, it doesn't completely explode on you in the space of 15 seconds. You don't want that. That would be very bad. So let's refer to my picture here being held by the lovely Chelsea, excuse me.
This is great. We got like the girl holding the thing, and you doing
Yeah.
the job. This is like real television, man. This is great.
So if you look, the spacer goes, the stem side is flat spacer up to the bearing, okay? The non-stem side is where the shims go, because these spacers are not precision cut, so they shim them to make them fit right. So let's spin the wheel around, all right? This side over here is the stem side, okay? Let's get it oriented like the picture. How's that? I get that right? I just
All
going
right.
to get worse.
All right.
Okay, so here we have, this is the stem side. Is the hole over here? Chelsea, do you see the stem hole? Where is it?
Right here?
Right there.
On here, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, stem side means this is the hole where the valve stem goes, all right? So, if you look at our picture, the spacer slips